Okay, basically, what I'm doing today is I'm just testing out the streaming on YouTube. I'm not really doing anything in particular. Usually, this late at night, I'm just doing research and trying to stock up on content and okay, work on some of my books for my children's book series. On YouTube. I'm not really doing anything in particular. Usually, this late at night, I'm just doing research and trying to stock up on content and work on some of my books for my children's book series. Not really doing anything in particular. Usually I have a children's book series called Rich Kid, Poor Kid. It's a financial literacy series for kids. I'm actually working on curriculum also for schools. So right now usually I'm either reviewing like books that I'm
So you're better off going and selling some value.
I'm working on, or I'm talking with my developers on other things that I'm working on as well. Or I'm just researching something or getting some new information, trying to get smarter. Let's take a look at some money tips. It's always good to check up on some money tips. Try to make it at least once a day. I just research somebody's ideas of how to make more money, how to save more money.
I think we're going to go with you guys.
That's
how
great.
to build a better business.
Awesome.
I think if you take at least a little bit of time every day to kind of work towards that, you can be a lot further ahead, because you're not just living off your experience, you're kind of gaining wisdom off other people's experience.
Money tips, most people use about 5 in their entire life. Now I know that 100 is a little bit crazy, but you never know what one tip can literally change your life and change your finances. So really just try to take a couple out of this and actually use them, actually put them into your life. I also broke it down into different sections. So if there's one area of your life you really want to work on, you can switch to that. But honestly, just one of these tips could change everything. Believe that financial freedom is actually possible. If you don't believe that it's possible, you're never gonna change your behaviors or your habits. You're never gonna invest in yourself. If you just think it's a pipe dream, then it is. It's never gonna happen for you. So that's why you have to define your why. Not gonna lie, what I went through to get freedom at 24 was really hard. And if I didn't have a really strong reason behind it, one of them having freedom to spend time with my kids and have a farm.
Just to stop for a second, that's very important, because until you know why you're doing what you're doing, it doesn't matter. You'll never get ahead, you'll never be rich, you'll never be wealthy, because if you don't know your why, how could you work towards something? What's going to motivate you when things get hard and you don't want to get up in the morning? Every day I get up because of my whys. No matter how I feel, my whys is what keeps me motivated, locked in, and ready to go.
And be able to travel the world, whatever it is for you. If you don't have a strong reason, you're probably also not going to make it. Then of course you could calculate your freedom number. Your freedom number is not like $1 million so that you can live on $40,000 a year indefinitely. It is calculating all your living expenses, seeing how much that is per month, lowering them as much as possible, and then once you have that.
That's very important. My first thing before I decided to kind of lock in is I had to look at what my expenses are today, and then I'm working towards what I think I'm gonna need before I set the number. So let's say rough estimate would be like $30,000 a month. That would make me live comfortably, pay my bills, allow me to live wherever I want to live, go where I want to go. Once I've locked into $30,000 a month, then you just backtrack and figure out how much you have to do, how much you have to sell, how much products you need, how much purchase orders need to go out, how much contracts you need to get signed, how many clients you have to get to, purchase your services or whatever, depending on your business. Like, once you map that out, boom, it's easy. Like I wanted to make $1 million in a year. That's like, I think I forgot the math. It might be like 3,000 a day, something like that. But at least I know if I want $1 million in a year, it's $3,000 a day. Now I kind of back that up. How can I make $3,000 a day? I have to make X amount of sales. I have to do X amount of clients, X amount of photo shoots, X amount of video shoots, whatever. That's how you map out your life. This is excellent advice this guy's given right here in this video.
Remember, you just need to figure out different ways to earn that amount of money, which we'll talk about later in this video. Front load the pain. We generally get paid for how much value we give to society. Like when you give a lot of value to a lot of people, you make a lot of money. When I was cleaning office buildings, I made no money because nobody cares. So if you can front load a couple of years of your life with extreme hard effort and giving a lot of value, you can earn 5 years worth of money in 1 year's worth of time if you front load all the pain. Now you also want to...
That is very important. A lot of people say enjoy your youth and you can make it all later. That is nonsense. You need to, while you're young, accumulate as much cash, hustle as hard as you can, work as hard as you can, so later on, when you're older, you don't have to work as hard. Anybody telling you different doesn't know what they're talking about.
Never follow the crowd. I just kind of assume that everything popular is wrong. The average American is overweight, they're depressed, they're broke, they retire at 65, they have just a few years to enjoy their retirement before they die. It's really kind of stupid. So in your finances, just assume that everything popular is probably wrong if your goal is to have different finances than everybody else. In other words, like good finance. I don't know how I'm gonna pick up the camera now. Coffee cups there. I'll be right back. And this is where you should embrace being different. Not only do you want to just avoid the things that most people are doing, but you want to actually look for them. Like for years, I only wore clothes from the thrift store, had a cheap old beater car, lived in different location. I eat differently than most people. I work differently than most people. I sleep differently than most people. And that's how I like it. I don't want to fit in. I don't want to be normal anymore. Build systems instead of goals. If you...
That's my whole thing. Systems. Systems. Systems, systems. Systems will beat effort every time. You cannot work forever. You always have to be trying to build a team, hire somebody to work for you, something. You should never want to stay in the same position, because staying in the same position is almost like for you, because if you can't expand, you need people to expand. And if you can't expand by yourself, you need to, be able to move from doing everything to doing, and like say you had 10 things in your business. If you move to doing 4 of those things and you hired the rest out, things become more efficient, you become less tired. Instead of you doing 4, you're doing 2 now. Before you're doing 2, you're doing 1. Before you know it, you're not doing anything, and you just supervise, you call in, you Zoom meeting, whatever. Now you get your life back. It's all about buying your time back. That's what hiring people is for. It's to buy your time back. Time is more valuable than money, to me anyways. Can't speak on everybody else, but my time is very valuable, and I would rather spend money to get back some of my time. Even if I'm paying somebody $5 so they can make $6, I would rather do that, because at least I'm making $1 and I'm not there.
Have a goal to save $10,000 within a year. It's totally possible. This is the math on that. If you don't have systems in your life, and especially in your finances, you're most likely not going to have long-term changes. One way to fix that is to learn consistently. Like I said at the beginning of this video, one of these tips could totally change your life. That's how I learned all of these tips, was by reading books, listening to podcasts, going to seminars, talking to people. Nobody just inherently knows how to budget well or how to earn a lot of money, or that's not good. I have to go inside. Or how to invest. And just reading 1 or 2 books generally isn't enough. You have to really make learning a staple in your life.
Take the low-hanging fruit. There are very simple ways to save money. You can compare car insurances, switch grocery stores, or my personal favorite, stop overpaying for your phone plan. For real, the sponsor of this video, Tello Mobile, has flexible and affordable plans up to $25 a month, and it is built on the nation's largest network. So you're probably not even gonna notice a difference in the service, but you can save an insane amount of money just from making a little switch. And their unlimited plan just got even better with 50 gigabytes of high-speed data for just 25 bucks a month. Plus they doubled their hotspot from 5 gigs to 10 gigs. Again, all for the same price. You get unlimited talk and text. Honestly, this is just a no-brainer. Spending like 50 or 100 bucks for a phone plan is just like kind of silly at this point when you can just bring your own phone to Tello, get all this awesome stuff for just 25 bucks a month with no long-term commitments or lock-ins, or like they're not just trying to take you to the bank. This is just one of those small switches that if you make this decision once, you could save money for, well, as long as you stay with them, I guess, every single month without ever having to do anything else. So check them out. There is a link down in the description. And thank you to Tello for sponsoring this video.
Tomorrow never comes. Life is always now. If you're one of those people who are like, oh, I'm gonna start budgeting next week, I'm gonna get on a diet after New Year's, this is like scientifically backed that you're not gonna do that. You're just wasting your time. Like literally don't even bother. Maybe it's because you don't have a strong enough why, but if you want to make changes, start like right now. Don't wait. Please don't wait. All right, let's talk about saving money. You should be targeting a 75% savings rate. And if that sounds ridiculous, it kind of is. Again, we're not shooting for normal. For me, this took years and huge life changes to get to, but I was able to get to it and it completely changed my life. Focus on the big three. That's gonna be your housing, transportation, and food. It's where most of your money goes. Before you cut out the lattes, focus on that. One way to do that is by house hacking. Buy a 2 to 4 unit multifamily with a first-time homebuyer loan, live in one unit, rent the other ones out, rinse and repeat the process. Then of course, for transportation, get like a 10-year-old car, buy it used in cash, drive it for 1 to 3 years, and then try to sell it for roughly what you paid for it. I've done this quite a few times. It's pretty much like getting free cars. Then of course, you should be meal planning like your freedom depends on it.
Excuse me, sir, how old were you when you made your first million?
What is this for?
We're trying to get advice for the younger generation.
I made my first million last year, actually.
What line of work are you in?
I'm in sales.
Okay, what's the best advice you can give someone that's in sales?
You're only as good as your sales reps and your CRM.
What CRM do you use?
We used to use one of the old legacy CRMs, but it just didn't give us the speed and agility that we needed. But then we switched to Monday CRM and sales started flying.
Why is the CRM so important?
Well, no specific CRM can make you a millionaire, but if you want to move fast in today's world, you need a CRM that doesn't hold you back. Monday CRM propels.
Again, food is going to be one of your biggest expenses. If you're routinely throwing stuff away, you're just literally burning money and your life and your freedom. Start making a plan. Cancel recurring expenses like subscriptions. If you're serious about reaching freedom, then maybe you should be watching less TV anyways. Buy generic everything. A lot of name brands are literally made in the same factory. It's kind of just a marketing scheme. Don't fall for it. Use credit card rewards. I've gotten like a dozen free flights by kind of gaming the credit card system, signing up for different bonuses, hitting the minimum spend, and then just kind of down the road canceling those cards. Pretty sweet. Don't pay bank fees. Americans pay on average $329 a year on bank fees. It's a total waste. Use credit cards the right way. If you cannot pay your credit card at the end of every month, literally cut it up, throw it in the trash, burn it, do anything. The best you can hope for in the stock market is like 10% on average. So if you're losing 30%, take drastic measures. Switch to black coffee. Not only is it healthier for you, but if you're in the habit of having like a latte and you can save $5 a day, that's like 1,800 bucks a year. Plus you're gonna be healthier. You're like paying money to hurt yourself. But you do have to get good coffee and like a Chemex and just become a snob and hate yourself a little bit, but it's totally worth it. Pack your own lunch. Eating out generally costs 2 to 3 times more, so just take the time, meal prep once a week, be prepared. Don't buy sale items. Instead, buy things that you love. If you get to the point where everything you have is your favorite, you no longer need to buy things. So unless something's like a 90 plus, like you absolutely love it, don't buy it. And that leads into the cost per use. If you have a shirt that's like $50, but you wear it 50 times, that's $1 per use. But if you have a shirt that's $10 that you got on sale, but you don't really like it that much and you wear it once, that $10 shirt is actually 10 times more expensive per use. Avoid extended warranties. Retailers make about 80% profit margin on extended warranties. It's a scam. It's not a good idea. Please stop buying bottled water. Invest in a filter, something like that. It's generally about 2,000 times more expensive to get bottled water. But of course, you should be negotiating everything. Turns out if you call your internet provider trying to cancel, they will offer you everything under the sun to keep you on and make it frustratingly hard to cancel. Literally offered me half price for better service just to keep me, but the internet sucks, so I still wouldn't do it. Use the 30-day rule. If you want something that is not a necessity to be alive, which is pretty much food, leave it, write it down on a list, have a running list, or leave it in your cart for 30 days. And if you still want it, go ahead and buy it. Most likely you'll forget about it by then. I guess that one's more of a minimalist rule, which I have like a list of 50 other ones down below if you're into minimalism. Invest in quality things between you and the ground. So this is like your mattress and shoes. Things that can impact your health are a good thing to spend money on, even like gym memberships. Then of course, you can set up automatic savings. If you're not robbing yourself every time you get a paycheck, you're probably not saving as much money as you could be. I love to kind of steal from myself so I don't have the opportunity to waste money or seem like I have money. If you have bad self-control, just steal from yourself. Now let's talk about debt management. There's good debt and there's bad debt. People who understand and use good debt are generally people who build large amounts of wealth, and the people who get taken advantage of with bad debt are most Americans. If you do have debt, pay off the highest interest first. If you have a car loan at 16% and a house loan at 5%, mathematically you should always pay the highest first. And sometimes it can be good to not pay off your mortgage. If you have a 3 or 4% mortgage and you can earn 10% plus in the stock market on average, mathematically it makes absolutely no sense to pay off your mortgage. However, don't always follow the math. For some people, the mental stress of having a mortgage, having debt, having whatever can change their lives and like ruin things. So you have to understand your risk tolerance, what type of person you are. For me, I have like over $1 million in good debt for like rentals and stuff, and that has zero effect on my mind space. But for other people, it would stress them out. So just because something works for one person doesn't mean it's gonna work for everybody. Don't consolidate your debt unless you want to. A lot of people, when they consolidate their debt, they don't change their behaviors, and therefore they have this big consolidation loan, and then they just build up the other debt again anyways. So until you change your behaviors, don't just consolidate your debt to try to get rid of the problem without addressing the root of the problem, which is you. Then of course, if you're younger, don't go to college. Don't get student loan debt. Obviously, this is a little bit too much of a blanket statement, but if you have no idea what you want to go to school for, don't just go and get in tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of debt for I don't know what. An incredibly high percentage of people don't use their degree. It can literally destroy your life before you ever get started. Never use payday loans. These are just like financial traps that charge 400% interest and can trap you in terrible cycles. Just try to avoid them like the plague. What we should be trying to do is build a 3 to 6 month emergency fund. For the most part, you should never have to use bad debt again. All right, let's start making money. Avoid unscalable side hustles. If you're trying to make more money, there's a place for side hustling for hourly wage, cleaning office buildings at night, or doing DoorDash. But if you ever want to make a decent amount of money from it, you need to start a scalable side hustle that makes nothing at the beginning, but has a lot of upside later on. If you want a list of 7 scalable side hustles, I will leave a link to that as well down below. Try random crap. I have recently been posting text posts to YouTube that have been reaching about 99% non-followers. And one post just like last week made me over $150. It's one of the more random things that I've ever tried, but literally anything can work if you actually try it. People make a living doing this stupidest stuff. Work to learn instead of to earn. This is one of the things I'm most grateful to Rich Dad Poor Dad teaching me, and that is literally just to work to learn valuable skills, because if you actually learn valuable skills, long term, you're gonna make way more money. Build multiple streams of income. If you have your W-2 plus rental properties, plus investment income, plus side hustle income, if you lose your job, the world doesn't end. It makes life way easier. Negotiate your salary annually. Most people leave thousands of dollars on the table every year because they don't ask for raises. Budget your time, not just your money. A lot of us nerdy finance people track our finances like crazy, but we don't track our time. And if you value your time, because it's literally our most valuable thing that we have, then you should keep track of it, see where you're losing it, see what part of it is making you money and giving you more life back, and which part of it's like destroying your life. Then of course you should give yourself a higher hourly value. I recommend anywhere between $100 and $1,000 an hour. If you start to really believe that you are worth that much, you'll probably stop watching TV, start working harder, and start really just trying to enjoy your life more and be more productive. Avoid your weaknesses. School taught us to avoid our strengths, but when it comes to making money, that's kind of stupid, and it's why a lot of successful kids in school end up working for the people who were bad in school. It's because school has nothing to do with like life. So lean into your strengths and just avoid your weaknesses. Outsource them. Create content around your expertise. YouTube, blogging, courses, Instagram, text posts on Facebook. These things work, and even if you fail at them, you learn a lot about yourself, you learn a lot of valuable skills. I think most people should at least try it for a little bit. Even if you don't want to do it as a career, when you try to teach people, you learn so much yourself. For me, it's made me such a better person. Network with purpose. We all know that you're the average of the 5 people you hang around with most, so be really intentional with who you're spending your time with, because it'll literally make a difference.
be very careful with this one. The wrong circle will put you in a very wrong position in life.
And how much you earn. Take a lot of risks. Not like too many risks, but if you're always...
I have to caution you with this. Take calculated risks. Don't just run around doing whatever. That's not a good strategy. Calculated risks is key.
trying to play things as safe as humanly possible, you'll probably never succeed, because in order to succeed, you need to actually take chances and do things. Again, unlike school teaches, in the real world, failure is an awesome thing and we should embrace it. Learn sales and marketing. Pretty much everything in the world is a funnel. A lot of making money comes down to sales in some aspect. It's a great thing to learn. Read a couple books. It's super fun, and that's where a lot of money is. Try to go remote. This might take years to actually make happen, but if you can figure out either how to gain skills that will let you work remotely or how to get your job to let you work remotely, you generally unlock a lot of time that you would have spent driving to work or like wasting time at work. Plus, you can even unlock like location freedom. Speaking of which, on top of your emergency fund, build a 3 to 6 month freedom fund, where if you have that as a backup, you now have the opportunity to move across the country for a job, to take a pay cut, and work at a startup which has incredible potential. When you have a freedom fund, you actually have a lot more opportunities and a better chance to get lucky than somebody who doesn't. Maximize your employee match. I'm not a big fan of retirement accounts myself. However, if a company is offering a match on like a 401k, it's literally free money. Learn AI. AI is here. It is not going anywhere. It is a complete game changer. You can either avoid it. The people who are taking advantage of it are going to be miles ahead of everybody else in just the next couple of years. Develop a personal brand. Your Instagram, your Facebook, whether you decide to, be a creator or not, they are now something that your future employer is going to look at. If you have any skills, it can be a way to monetize. If you're a weird person like me, building a personal brand is literally just getting paid to be alive and talk about the things that you're interested in. For me, I'm like so happy that I've gone down this road and like so blessed to be able to do this, because I literally just get to talk about things that I love all the time and get paid for it. Start before you're ready. If you're thinking about starting a business, taking a class, better your skills to try to get a raise, making a life move, diving into your finances, going on a diet, whatever it is, you're never, ever going to be ready. Do it anyways.
With Duda's AI stack, you can upload your client brief to
Invest in low-cost index funds. The S&P 500 has an expense ratio of under 0.1 and also beat most actively managed funds long-term. So pretty much just keep it simple. Also, automate your investing. Investing weekly or monthly can be a great way to kind of force yourself to build wealth. Don't try to time the market. Obviously, it sounds good to buy low and sell high. If you could do that, you'd be like a billionaire. It's really hard. By the way, if you're enjoying this video and getting any value out of it, feel free to drop a like and subscribe. It really helps out the channel.
Well, I think that's good for now. I can't stay on too late anyways, so I hope you guys took some notes from that. Pretty good information. Every night I try to end the night with some new knowledge, and I kind of let that sit on my brain rather than, some war or whatever else is going on in the world. So I try to get some knowledge in my head, think about some finances, reflect, think about my strategy, write down some goals. If I have work to finish, I'll try to knock that out. I have a few things to get done tonight, but it's like almost 2 a.m. and I was up until like 6 a.m. last night, so I got a lot of work done last night, so I don't want to push my body past. And today was my day off gym. I'm probably going to be starting a gym channel. It'll be linked to this channel because I feel that a lot of people don't understand how important it is to pair your finance and your fitness. Being fit is gonna contribute to your success 100%. It tells the world who you are. If somebody's overweight and sloppy, right away, I kind of question their work ethic. Because if you can't get yourself in shape, what else can't you do? You probably don't take care of yourself. You probably don't care about your business. I could be wrong, but 9 times out of 10, that's kind of the thing, right? So I'm probably gonna start a fitness channel as well and get you guys in shape. I'm actually a certified personal trainer. I got certified, but I never pursued it. I like training. I'm not interested in training people, but if I'm actually just working out and recording myself, I don't mind doing that. But like being in the gym and working out, you know, clients and all that stuff, and that got old real quick. I'm not really a fan of it. I prefer to just help people get fit, and you guys can learn from me getting fit. I was gonna compete before COVID. Kind of threw me off my fitness situation, because I was working out and then got locked down, no gym, cake, cookies, ice cream. So yeah, that didn't really pan out, but now I'm trying to get my body back in shape, back to where I was, so you guys can follow along with that while I'm trying to help you guys with some financial advice and showing you guys what I'm building. And mind you, I haven't really said much about what I'm building yet, not because I'm trying to keep a secret. It's just that it doesn't make sense trying to explain everything when things are still being built. I still have apps under development. My books, you can always get those right now if you're a parent or a teacher. Rich Kid, Poor Kid book series. My website's right here on the page, so if you guys are interested in that, you guys can check that out. I got lots of financial literacy books for kids, teenagers, young adults, elementary school kids. I have some new books coming out, teachers' curriculums. So yeah, a lot of stuff working on this year. Trying to hit it hard. Number one thing I did not want to do is Instagram and YouTube. I'm just not really a fan of recording myself, but I'll get used to it. This live is just a warm up, just warming myself up to the idea of talking to a camera. If I don't do it, I'll never do it. And I've been building privately for the last 10 years, and if I had documented, wow, my channel would be huge by now. So I'm just better late than never. But I'll be every night before I shut down for my sleep. I'm going to hop on, do a live. I'll be posting more content in the day as the days and weeks go by. I'll be posting more educational content, advice, showing you guys what I'm building, and we can build together. I'm looking for people that are like-minded. We can build a wide network of individuals that are trying to be successful and trying to beat this inflation we have going on here and across the world. So that's it for me tonight. Have a good night, guys and girls.